This is part 18 of The Troop by Nick Cutter. So after the turtle ordeal, Newton and Max came back to find Ephraim on the ground, covered in blood, with gouges, gashes, and just, he cut himself up. He's barely alive, he's on the ground, he's stammering, and he's saying, "They're inside me. They're sneaky. I can feel the worm." And of course the boys are freaking out. They're like, "Who did this to you?" "I did." "Why did you do it?" "A little birdie told me." "But Ephraim, you don't look any skinnier, you don't look sick, you don't look like Kent or Tim. You don't look like any of those. I don't think you're sick." "But the worms. I was told I have the worms." Newton went into triage mode and started patching up all of Ephraim's wounds, and they drug him back to what was left of the cabin. They're all, crying, they're freaking out, they're like, they're trying to process so much. A lot has happened in the last 24 hours. By the time they got back to the cellar, Kent was gone. Shelley was nowhere to be found. And now they had other problems to deal with. Look at the baby. So now we're back in the courtroom, and Dr. Harneville is still being interviewed in the court. This is where the courtroom had revealed Dr. Edgerton's plan of working with the military to create this bioweapon to cripple an entire nation. Because just one eye drop of a concoction of these dehydrated worms could off so many people. And Dr. Harneville is flabbergasted. He's like, "Oh my god, I was just here for the science. I got this job because I cared, and I thought we were doing something pretty sick. But now I'm working with a psychopath. I'm working with a possible serial killer. Like, bro's fucked." So back with the boys. Newton and Max left Ephraim laying on the picnic table to tend to his own wounds as they went into the cellar to check on Kent, who's not there. And they're like, "Bro, just stay right there. We'll be right back. And then we're gonna grab a couple things, and we're gonna come right back." So Ephraim just laid there, and this is where Shelley snuck out of his little fort from the cabin, and he's like, "Ephraim is all alone." So Shelley snuck up on Ephraim, and Ephraim was just barely conscious, and he's like, "Oh, Shelley, hi." And Shelley's like, "Oh, that's a darn shame. You didn't get all the worms, Ephraim." And then Shelley plunged his hands into Ephraim's mouth and pried open his jaw to look in his mouth, I guess. Ephraim started to freak out a little bit. He's like, "You didn't get all the worms? I didn't get all the worms?" And Shelley's like, I have a buck knife. Do you want me to get the worms? Because I think I see something in your mouth. Oh, actually, I think I see them in your eyes, Ephraim. And then fast forwarding through this scene, Shelley pretty much grabbed the buck knife and carved into Ephraim. And Ephraim didn't fight it. He actually welcomed it. He's like, "Please, get the worms. Get them all. Thank you. Thank you." And Shelley at first was like, "Hell yeah, I get to carve up another person." But he was actually disgusted by Ephraim's gratefulness. He's like, "You should be screaming. You should be afraid of me. I don't like the thank yous. I hate it." So it enraged Shelley, and he just kept carving into Ephraim, gouging out both of his eyes, and then he stuck the blade in both of his ears, killing him. As Shelley left Ephraim bleeding on the table, he heard Newton and Max kind of coming back around the corner, and I guess Shelley had some accelerants, so he set Ephraim's body on fire and fled. And Max and Newton saw the flaming ball that was Ephraim's body, and they tried to put him out and save Ephraim's life, but unfortunately he was already a goner. So Newton was going to grab Ephraim's body and try to put the fire out, but Max is like, "No, dude, he might have the worms." Both the boys just stared in horror as Shelley came back around the corner with the knife. Max looked at Shelley and he's like, "Where were you? What are you doing?" Then they realized pretty quickly that Shelley did this. Max rushed Shelley, but then was sliced by the knife. A fight ensued. Max and Shelley fought for a bit, and Newton snuck around the back of Shelley, grabbed a big stick, and knocked him out from behind. So Shelley fell to the floor, momentarily unconscious, but he came to pretty quickly, and he looked at both of them, and he's like, "I'll kill you." Max is like, not if I kill you first." Shelly hawked a loogie and like spit at the boys, and it landed on the ground, and the boys stared at this globule of spit, and there was wriggling worms in it. Oh my god, his spit is squirming. Max quickly grabbed a large rock and busted one of Shelly's kneecaps, and Shelly hissed, got on all fours, and crawled away like a spider. And then Max and Newton buried Ephraim's body so he could go to heaven. And after they did, Max just curled up on the grave and cried because he just lost his childhood best friend.